The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
Blanksoles, a decentralized sneaker company, has announced a partnership with former NBA champion Metta Sandiford-Artest, also known as Metta World Peace and formerly Ron Artest, and is now launching a line of limited edition NFTs and physical sneakers on the Solana blockchain called Metta Designsoles. Joining us now to discuss is Metta Sandiford-Artest. Welcome.
How are you doing? How's everything going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hope I got all those
That's
details
great, yeah.
right. So this is an interesting project. So let's just get right into it. So let's talk about like the sneaker problem that you are addressing here. So, as I understand, it has a lot to do with just like inflated prices, like centralized control by the big brands. But can you just spell out for us, like what exactly the problem is here?
Well, I think just having an opportunity as an athlete to launch your own shoe. We got a lot of great shoes out there. And, with the Kobe's or LeBrons or the Jordans or, whatever the case may be. And I think there's a group of players out there that have the ability to launch their own shoe. And I think Blanksoles gives me the ability to launch my own shoe, something I always wanted to do. And I have a good time with it. We love the Web3 and, NFT technology. And I think it's really cool that every, NFT that someone purchases from Blanksoles in regards to these shoes, they'll receive one. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. So I guess my question just about like sort of the NFT thing. So we have so many like celebrities and athletes like launching NFTs. What is it about your NFT other than like the coolness of it, which is clearly, part of it, but like what exactly like is the thinking behind it? Like, is there anything that like, is there a reason specifically you want to do an NFT as opposed to something else?
Yeah, it's a reason because one, I have a basketball app. It's called Experts Exports. And we pretty much give exposure to our users, and then we also have a lot of perks, right? So for us, for Experts Exports, this NFT is basketball related. Our users will appreciate it. Our users do basketball competitions, and they receive different perks. And in the future, there'll be other things that you can do with us, in terms of coming to our games, our local games. Obviously, we launched the app across the United States, so we're looking to expand there. So for us, it's more about access to different basketball opportunities as a fan or as a player.
But I'm wondering, how did you get into crypto and I guess specifically the metaverse? Because, you've changed your name to Metta.
Mm-hmm. Well, initially when I changed my name to Metta, it was more from a faith, a Buddhist standpoint. It didn't have much to do with tech. But my company was called Metta Tech, and I thought that was pretty cool. But, from there, I think, it's something where I'm doing an app where really we want to help athletes become digital assets, right? So that's like using technology to monetize your brand for the most part. So now when you get the NFTs, it just makes perfect sense now. And when you talk about giving athletes a chance to be empowered, and different things like that, using Web3 and using and different incentives like the NFTs, I think it just makes perfect sense. You can put this all on one platform if you wanted to. So many cool things you could do. And like I said, I'm so focused on basketball and local basketball. I just think, using Web3 and the new technology, I think it makes perfect sense.
Can you talk a little bit more about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Christine.
Well, it's interesting that Metta is actually, your Buddhist name. And I understand you're very spiritual. I wonder how that coincides with your interest in tech and your spirituality. And I guess in this case, honing in on NFTs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. When I first changed my name, I did have a lot of things in mind. But basketball is something that I really love. So I really want to try to take basketball to the next level, locally help people get exposure, whether you're a coach, a player, a future or aspiring general manager, even referees. Our platform is for the basketball enthusiasts, the basketball player, the basketball fans.
You just said something kind of interesting, and I would love to just hear you explain more when you talk about sort of like empowering athletes and like letting them monetize their brand more. Can you just explain like exactly how that works and, you know, how it worked before? Because I know that there's always stories about, I don't know, money problems in the NBA, especially for athletes. And so how, I'm just curious, like if you could just tease out for us, like what that means, like how this is helping, giving people more financial power.
Yeah, so at the Extra Sports platform, we're in partnership with, Blanksoles. And what we do is a basketball player can sign up, join the community, try to find a game or even create a game. And then if you're like in North Dakota or maybe even Buffalo and nobody knows you on this platform, you participate and then people will know you everywhere, especially the basketball community. And I think that's kind of, what's really important. We try to also have opportunities where we can do basketball games and build an audience for these players. If you go online and go on Instagram, you'll see a lot of basketball players with millions of followers. That's not in the NBA, right? And this is happening a lot. So we give them an opportunity to showcase their skills by engaging with the app locally and then get invited to our premium games. And then in our premium games, there's different opportunities, exposure to colleges or maybe pro. Also to play in our own cash games or also in our NFT games, where NFT has some value to it.
Also curious, why did you choose Solana?
Well, Solana, my partners chose Solana at Blanksoles. They have a relationship and it just made perfect sense. Obviously, we know a lot of other platforms out there that people are using, but my partners who were running the campaign for the NFTs, they chose Solana.
And again, just to backtrack to one other question, how did you get into crypto and how invested are you in crypto?
I mean, I really like the concept. I'm trying to really not follow any big trends. I want to use the technology to empower what I'm trying to do. So I feel like just having the opportunity to just play basketball here in America versus, having to always go overseas. A lot of our players here have to go overseas. How can we keep them here and then have a second and third level of professional basketball here, and different things like that. And I think with the opportunities to build an audience, whether it's purchasing NFTs or merchandise or even subscribing to your page, you have an opportunity to generate some revenue for yourself and give the people what they want.
But who introduced you to crypto in particular? Like, how did you get into crypto and your interest in crypto?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I went to a conference in Miami, I think like maybe 5 years ago. Everybody was talking about this space, and obviously I remember when Bitcoin was like 15 cents or maybe even lower or something, and people were saying you should invest, you should get into this, and I didn't know what it meant. And then as you see, it's still here and it's still surviving. I was like, okay, I have to learn more about this space. So, I got a few blockchain advisors, whether it's NFTs or we're also going to be working on some tokens also. But I just reading, listening, talking to people over the last couple of years. And the main thing, it has something to do with what I do. It definitely adds value to what I'm trying to do for basketball players. So that's how I got involved.